Now, getting into some Patriots conversations, they obviously have the fourth overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, and a player who could make a lot of sense for New England is LSU left tackle Will Campbell. And in one of your latest articles with CLNS, you described him as an experienced, technically advanced blocker with an iron grip and a mean streak. That said, what are some potential downsides to taking Will Campbell at number four?
I do want to stress because I feel like the conversation about Will Campbell has gone a little bit too much in a direction where it's like he can't play tackle. He
Yeah.
can. He did it in the SEC. Not a lot of people in the NFL right now could have hung in the SEC and probably could right now. So that's a very important thing to distinguish. But at the same time, like you mentioned, there are some downsides. The fact that he would be an anomaly when it comes to arm length, it's not horrendous. You know, he's about 33, but it's not 34, and that's what you'd like for a tackle. And it's called the game of inches for a reason, where an eighth of an inch can make the difference in some critical moments. And not just the length, because sometimes you're not the longest guy, but you're broad, right? You have really wide shoulders, so you're tough to get around. Think about like a Trent Brown, right? Just a massive human being. He had a long grip, but he also knew, okay, you can try to beat me to the edges, but I'm athletic and I'm huge. So I'm probably going to know what you're doing and I can counter. And he played very patiently and maximized his tools. I think Will Campbell maximizes his length. He's very patient. I think he knows when to strike, where to strike, and he generally does a very good job. But at the same time, when technique is matched by the opponent, when it's the Myles Garrett's, when it's the Aiden Hutchinsons, who have all the physical gifts and they're very experienced and they're usually a step ahead of you, you don't really have any advantages there. So one, he's not as broad as you'd like. He's pretty narrow in terms of his wingspan, and he's not long, which is why people think he'd be better at guard. It would mask a lot of those deficiencies because you're in a phone booth. But at the same time, the things he brings, like the meanness, the leadership, I think just the experience, the fact that he still can improve. I think technically, if he becomes more of a one-handed punch guy, that's how he can really maximize his length. Because at that point, one arm is longer than two. Now he's more of a two-hand puncher, and sometimes that can lead to some quick losses like you saw at college. Didn't see those from Armand Membu in the same division, or I'm sorry, in the same conference. That's why I kind of prefer him in terms of upside. But Will Campbell's a fantastic prospect. If he is the pick at number 4, or maybe after a trade down, fingers crossed, you're not going to see me